New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani is defending his decision to appoint rapper turned activist Mysonne Linen to his transition team, despite Linen's criminal past. Linen will be part of the team that shapes policy on the Criminal Legal System Committee. And News 12's Kelly Kennedy has the exclusive tonight. She sits down with Linen, asking about his past and why he says it shouldn't define his future.
It's one of Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani's most controversial picks, Mysonne Linen, a man who spent years in prison for robberies that he says he didn't commit.
I've always maintained my innocence in my case. I went to trial for my case.
What do you say to New Yorkers who feel uncomfortable with your appointment?
We say that we have rehabilitation, right? We say we have the Department of Corrections, because that's what it is, correction. So if you're incarcerated for something and you go to the Department of Corrections, people should feel like that you're being corrected.
Linen was once a rising Bronx rapper.
I never knew at 21 years of age with a $1 million record deal that I would be incarcerated. You know, I thought I was coming from poverty, you know, coming from a father who overdosed on drugs.
Linen served 7 years in state prison after a 1999 conviction for robbing 2 taxi drivers.
It's misidentification. I was arrested for one armed robbery that I never committed, and then somebody picked me out of a book.
Both victims testified, and one widow recently told reporters she was appalled to learn Linen will advise the incoming mayor.
If she were sitting in the room with us right now, what would you say to her?
I would say that I'm sorry for the way she feels, and I actually never robbed her husband.
Linen says his appointment shouldn't be about his past, but what he's done since.
I used to wake up in a cell and just wish to be home, and wish to be able to be productive and say, when I get home, I'm going to show people and I'm going to do these things. Judge me by the person I am now. I have a 20-year record of being a stellar individual, fighting for my community.
He says his time spent in prison gives him a unique perspective on crime and public safety.
I understand the flaws of the system.
What do you believe is the biggest misconception about public safety in New York City?
That police stop it is just not really true. And that's why I love what the mayor-elect wants to do. He wants to couple mental health experts and community leaders and liaisons with police.
Since his release, he's worked to make a difference in underserved communities as a violence interrupter.
I've been called to sit down with certain individuals and heads of gangs who were actually at war and have to talk guns out of their hands.
You were convicted of crimes against working class New Yorkers. What policies would you say you would put into place now that could make them feel safer today?
They have to work in areas where crime is high and poverty is high. Poverty creates crime. So I would make sure that people who work in those areas, that you know that the police are there and it deters someone who might feel like, you know, I'm going to do something to them.
At the end of the day, he sees this as a second chance to make a difference.
We have to focus on the root. Why are these people committing this crime? How do we stop the crime? How do we change the mindset? If nothing changes, then nothing changes. Then you just have this revolving door.
And Linen says for him, success means safer streets and also more voices at the table. Kelly Kennedy, News 12.
Kelly, thank you.